Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Sag, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Sag, I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to be using 3 decks for your reading today. The first one is going to be the overall energy from the Elemental Oracle. The tarot reading will be with the Light Seers Tarot, and from the same author, a card at the end from the Sacred Creators deck. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Angel, spirits, guides, what messages do you have for Sagittarius? Number 40, which reduces to a 4, corresponding to the Emperor card of the Major Arcana, Aries energy. Emperor card talking about somebody in control, somebody that has divine masculine power. The words are atoms and building. Atoms and building. So anytime I see kind of like a gondola scene, it reminds me of the scene from one of my favorite Disney movies, Tangled. That's probably my favorite one, is Tangled. That movie was so much fun. But, you know, what is that movie about? It's about, you know, young Rapunzel who was taken from her life because of a special power that she had, power to heal, and, you know, kind of locked away in a life that was so limiting to her, and yet she made the most of her circumstances, right? So there's something about like overcoming adversity, making the most of your circumstances, but there comes a point in that story where she breaks free from those confines and marvels at the wonder of the world she's never known, and is beginning to explore for herself and challenging herself in a way that she's never been challenged before. There's like, I mean, those are big themes, you know, and I think that's what you're going through right now. This sense that you're embarking on a journey of discovery that you are perhaps unsure about, but it's almost as if Spirit is lighting your way. Like, it may be in the cover of darkness where things might be in shadow, might be confusing, but you are moving forward, you're traversing ahead, you're making progress, and Spirit is, in a sense, kind of creating this runway for you in order for you to understand even the minutia of things, because we have the word atoms here, the building blocks, the building blocks of creation. I mean, it could be, you could be a scientist person, building something from scratch, from the beginning, starting at the beginning, and you're not aware of it yet, but what results from this intensely vigorous work that you're putting into it is going to be something far more complex and multi-dimensional and multi-layered than you could have ever imagined for yourself. You're putting in work now. As Spirit just said, your future self will thank you, right? There's something that you're doing now that will prosper for you in the future. You might not know what it is, but it's almost like trust the process. Trust that what you're doing now is productive, even if it doesn't seem like it. Even if you feel like you're kind of stuck in something, you're just like, I guess I'm like here to just do this. It's like, no, you can make the most of every day if you so choose. You know, for me, it's kind of like, you know, and people, I'm very open with people at work about this, but it's like what it is that I do. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful every day for my job, the job that I have in my day job. But is it like my life's passion? No, it is not. But what is my passion there? It's helping other people. It's being a mentor. It's being a leader, leading teams, being somebody that people can rely on, being a team member. I mean, like, all of those things are massively rewarding. But I had to come to that place, you know, because the flip side of that is like, whatever, it's just a job, it's just a paycheck. I'm not doing anything extra. And it's just like, okay, that's one attitude about it, but another sense or another approach is I'm going to make the most of where I am, because it's going to lead me to the next step inevitably. And, you know, there's a reader on YouTube. Her name's Baba Jolie. She's incredible. And her spirit guides always tell her to tell the audience, wherever you are, be the kind of the light and soul of that place. Bring this beautiful light to your corner of the world, no matter how big or how small. 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, future, and a card at the end of advice from Spirit. Thank you. There's 7 cards on the table. They're all in reverse. It's not a bad thing. It's just a way to indicate to me how to interpret the card. What it does say to me, though, is that, I mean, there are a lot of different ways that Spirit can help me to deliver a message to you. Some of the cards have overlapping meanings, depending on what's surrounding them. When I see every single card in reverse, it just kind of, it says to me that the card itself, the energy of the card, it's not sitting in its own energy. Things in your life are in massive flux right now, Sag. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Ooh, Spirit kind of just said, when will you settle down? Spirit said that. When will you settle down? But it's just not like, settle down, Sag, you're being too loud. It's not like that. It's not that kind of settling down. It's the like, when will you feel this kind of peace in your own body, in your own soul? When will you settle in? I don't know why that's important, but it's was very strongly stated. In the past energy, 2 of Pentacles in reverse, clarified by the Page of Swords in reverse. Here are the cards in the upright. These 2 cards, thank you, Spirit. Okay, in the past energy, so this is kind of beginner's mind energy, and this is like teetering on the fence, multitasking, a lot of juggling, a lot of things. This kind of feels like being swept away almost, with these light bulbs kind of as balloons or kites just kind of sweeping us away. The Page of Swords talks about curiosity, asking questions, wanting to learn more, student energy, beginner's mind. With these cards in reverse in the past energy, it kind of shows me this, Spirit just said the word, this resignation. I mean, it could be a literal resignation that you enacted, but it's more of like a feeling of resignation. Like, I just give up. I don't know if it's apathy, you're bored, you're like procrastinating, you are tired, you're tired of juggling, you're just putting everything down, and you're so put off by everything that you don't even want to explore anymore. This was in the past energy. There's a frustration. I feel a frustration in your past energy. Like, maybe it was always your intention to build something spectacular, but the spectacular might be coming a little further down the line, and the mundane is what's happening right now, and it's driving you nuts. Because Sag, I mean, you are this, I mean, look at your cover art here. I mean, you're the great archer. You're like throwing your target out there. You're the explorer, you know, immersed in history and learning, and kind of seeing what's out there. Yeah, I asked for a clarifier. You got another card in reverse. I promise you these cards are not all in reverse in my deck. Eight of Cups in reverse. It's like Eight of Cups is walking away from something towards another end, walking away from 8 full cups, which some might consider crazy. Like, how could you walk away from 8 full cups? Because there's this sense in me that there's 9 and 10 cups. 9 wish fulfillment, 10 bliss. It's very brave when we enter into an 8 of Cups situation. It's either brave or we have no choice. But you have the card in reverse. A little bit of a homecoming, like needing to settle something at home. Home could just be like, it's like, oh, Spirit just said like the royal we, which is interesting. So I like people in England, I suppose. Please correct me if I'm wrong about this. But when you say something in the plural, sorry, my cat Lucky is meowing. Maybe you're feeling unlucky, at least in this past energy, because he can't come in. That's why I said he's unlucky, because he wants to come in. When we say something like, give us a kiss, right? Not give me a kiss, give us a kiss. Like, that's I think it's what would be considered a colloquialism. Like, it's just a saying that British people, like, it's a method of, I don't know what you would call it, a colloquialism, or like just a localized speech pattern where we use the royal we to refer to the I. I'm sure, Sag, because you love history, you could tell me more about it. But it's kind of like we're coming home, or it's something about that. I don't know. That's very convoluted, but Spirit wants me to say it. Give us a minute to figure it out, right? Well, it's interesting because, like, for like spiritual girly like me, I guess, if I said, okay, give us a second to figure it out, it would be like me and my spirit guides. Give us a second to figure it out. So there's something to that. I mean, maybe you find that, you know, in the past energy, it's like your spirit guides were kind of suggesting to you that you got to settle things at home, in the hearth, in the heart first, before you can move forward. It feels very convoluted, so I'm sorry if it's kind of convoluted, but that's what I'm getting. That's what I feel. In the present energy, King of Pentacles in the reverse. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. 8 of Pentacles usually speaks to me about a workplace scenario, or a kind of investment, an investment of pentacles, time, effort, energy, resources. A lot of times it's work because that's where we invest the majority of our time. It doesn't have to be something that you're diligently working on. But both these cards are in reverse. King of Pentacles is usually somebody who's very high status, extremely stable, financially well off, emotionally stable as well. Like really just stable, grounded. Both these cards in the reverse suggest to me that something is being reconsidered at this time, whether it's a job offer, a job scenario, a living situation. Like I feel as though there's this sense that you want to do something different. This energy is not settled. Nothing in your reading today feels very settled. And I mean, that goes back to this energy, right? The atoms. Because aren't atoms kind of like electrons and, you know, neutrons or whatever they are? It's like things are constantly in motion. The universe is constantly in motion. It's just that our perception sometimes of our own lives makes us feel like we're stagnant. In the present tense, I do feel like you're thinking about giving up some of your stability in order to move to something perhaps a little bit more enthralling, exciting. Yeah, so clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. So we have a divine partnership here. I don't know, you know, there's one in reverse and one in the upright. I don't know if there's a separation between. This is only if you already know this coming to this reading. If you are separated from a loved one right now, a partner, a karmic partner or something. But I mean, this card in the upright is absolutely beautiful. Queen of Pentacles, also abundant in her own right. Lush, fertile, creative, very stable, very grounded, very generous as well. And, you know, knows who she is. Like, look at the expression on her face. Eyes closed, but just poised. Whenever I see women sit with their hands like that, like across their knees, that's such a poised look for me. I just think that lady has it all together. Because most of the time I'm sitting there like kind of like this. You know, but there's like a poise about you kind of in this situation. This card looks unbothered. Unbothered by the fact that I think you're looking to kind of shake up the system a little bit. In the future potential, Queen of Wands in reverse, Nine of Wands in reverse, so really fiery future here, which is your element, of course, Sag. Queen of Wands in the upright is somebody who, divine feminine figure, who's just divine feminine energy, excuse me, who's attractive, intelligent, passionate, creative. Nine of Wands talks about being tenacious, resilient, living to fight another day. Unrelenting, Spirit just said, unrelenting. But these two cards are in reverse. It's almost like there's this part of you that wants to get this energy back. I think that you're going through something right now, Sag, where you are, it's not about, it's like you're losing like momentum, because I feel like this is always in momentum. And for some reason, there's something that's really frustrating you. And you feel like you're losing momentum. Six of Cups in the reverse. Six of Cups talks about memories, nostalgia, looking back to the past with fondness. There's something from your past that has really thrown you off your game. Spirit just said that. So something could have come to the surface recently that shook up your whole worldview, That's happened to me recently. I'm a Sag rising. Just, I mean, for me, it shook up my worldview for the better. But there was a part of me that had to be open to it, right? If I wasn't open to it, I would have never known. If I wasn't open to this very crucial conversation that I have since been a part of, I would have never discovered the depth of a situation from my past. And we got to be open to these things. I mean, we don't have to let the past back if we don't want to, but there is something that slipped through, and it's causing you to question a lot. I'm going to ask for one more. Three of Wands. They're not telling me what it is, but now you're in this holding pattern. A lot of holding patterns here. Three of Wands is a card of waiting on the shoreline, right? She's got the surfboard, but she's not in the water. Waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for the perfect wave when there may never be a perfect wave. Maybe we just need to jump in the water and build ourselves up to it. But you're in a holding pattern. It's not where you want to be, though. Five of Wands in the reverse for the advice from Spirit. Five of Wands in the upright is just like a battle. We're just constantly battling ourselves. We're climbing all over ourselves. There could be this element of competition as well. I got to be the best. I got to outpace them. I got to show them, kind of thing. In Spirit's, the card is in reverse for you. It's like Spirit's just saying, stop fighting your own self. You're getting in your own way. One more for that one. Ace of Wands in reverse, Queen of Swords in reverse. It's like I can't, the level, you've got one card in the upright, two cards in the upright, everything else in reverse. How are we getting in our own way? We're not allowing the abundance and the new beginning from Spirit with the Ace of Wands to come in. The downloads of ideas, of creativity. We're not allowing the truth to come forward with the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords in reverse is like turning her back on it. It's a little bit stubborn, Sag. It's like, I don't want to hear what you have to say. Like, forget it. Which is fine. That's your prerogative. But I'm just saying this is what the cards are saying. There's a potential here that could, there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to start anew. Not necessarily with a person, just have a new worldview, which is just as important sometimes. One last card from the Sacred Creators. You, the Muse. What did I just talk about here? Blocking the channeling, your own personal channeling of ideas, creativity, projects, businesses, things that you want to start, gaining that momentum. You are the Muse. You are your own source of creation. But I feel as though there is some blocking of abundance happening right now. So try really, really hard to catch yourself. When you find yourself being triggered or defensive posturing, just breathe into it and just say, okay, I know I'm feeling very triggered right now. Why? Why am I feeling triggered? Just almost like pull yourself off to the side and regroup. And every time it happens, excuse yourself from the room for a moment and regroup. Be as open as you can right now. So that's your reading, Sagittarius. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Sag.